Good evening, everybody. Good evening, CLC community. Please, if you can hear me, write in the comments box that you can see me and you can hear me. If you can hear me, write in the comment box that you can see me and you can hear me. If you can hear me, please write in the chat box that you can see me and you can hear me. Okay. Good evening, Child Learning Clinic community. I welcome you all to today's webinar, Who Am I Nurturing? My name is Oluyemisi Onipishaye Davis, and the topic for today is Who Am I Nurturing? In our previous class, I spoke about the different types of children that we're nurturing. I spoke about the creative child, the sensitive child, the systematic child, and the courageous child. Unfortunately, we were not able to talk about what are the characteristics of all these children, and that is why we are here tonight. Please, if you are watching me, kindly put in the chat box where you are watching me from. I am streaming live from my home office in Abuja, Nigeria. So, who am I nurturing? We're going to start by talking about the creative child. Please take note that whether you're nurturing a creative child, a courageous child, a sensitive child, or a systematic child, there are some of us that are nurturing that our children has just one of these characteristics, while we have some of us that our children or our pupils has a combination of two or more of these characteristics. Who is a creative child? The motto for a creative child is imagination, imagination, imagination. The imagination level of a creative child knows no bound. They constantly explore new ideas and ways of thinking. They want to touch things like touch, touch, touch. They generate ideas. And one of the characteristics of this child is that they love attention. In fact, if they can't get your attention, they will devise means to get it, whether negatively. A creative child can pour water on the floor just to get your attention. If you have a creative child in your class, sharing their books just to get your attention. For them, attention is attention, whether negative or positive. Attention is attention. Likely going to interpret being ignored as you not liking them. They might be found doodling intricate designs, crafting stories, or constructing elaborate structures from everyday materials. Because of their zeal to create things, they are most likely going to spoil things easily. You buy them a new wristwatch today. A creative child will spoil that wristwatch even before you turn your back. They can pieces out a stereo that you put on a table. A creative child can break a TV screen, and if you ask her why she did that, she will tell you that she just wanted to know whether it is breakable. They are playful and fun to be with. What other people regard to as a problem, a creative child sees as an opportunity to try. A creative child is also a talkative. I know a lot of us believe that being a talkative is a bad thing because I've heard a lot of parents talking to me out of concern that their children are talkative. And they are so concerned and worried about that. A creative child is a talkative. Being a talkative is not a bad thing. Yes, I understand that we have been programmed to think that being a talkative is a bad thing, but I tell you today that being a talkative isn't a bad thing at all. I'm aware of the programming. As children's nurturer, we need to reprogram this because being a talkative is a major asset if harnessed well and refined. A creative child is a born speaker. A creative child is a born speaker. Show me, they are also show hosts, they are communication experts, they are media personalities. Show me a great speaker, I will show you a talkative as a child. The humor part of a creative child help him in building strong fan base, community, or friendship. What are the possible weaknesses of a creative child? They are sensitive to criticism. Creative children may be particularly sensitive to criticism because they are always they always invest a lot of time and their creativity in their work. So negative feedback and rejection can be especially hard for them to handle. Wasteful. A creative child can waste resources in order to achieve their goals. Their mind is always focused on that thing they are doing, and they don't mind wasting resources in order to make that thing. Difficulty with structures and routines. As we all know, routines are monotonous, and that is why it is difficult for a creative child to follow through. You can imagine a child who has more ways to get ready for school. He has imagined and drew up ideas, but these ideas are totally not at par with his routine. Such child will struggle, and because of that, they will always prefer to explore their own ideas. So they will struggle with routines. Lack of focus. Swirling around the mind of a creative child, they tend to easily lose focus. This could impact their ability to complete assignments and follow things rightly. What is your role as a nurturer? If you are nurturing a creative child, whether he's a pupil in your class or a student in your class or a child you gave birth to, what is your role as a nurturer? Number one, you have to provide structure with flexibility. Remember, I said that a creative child usually struggles with routines and structures. So as a nurturer, it is important that you create a balance between providing structures and allowing flexibility for creative exploration. When you establish routines and boundaries, you give the child the space to pursue their own interests and ideas. If you are with me, kindly write in the chat box that you are here with me. I seem not to be able to read anything from the chat box, but let's continue. Cultivating focus and concentration. It is important for nurturers to help creative children to develop strategies for improving focus and concentration. You can achieve this by breaking tasks into smaller bits to more manageable steps, setting realistic goals, and minimizing distractions during creative sessions. Providing constructive feedback. Nurturers can offer constructive feedback on the child's work, focusing on both strengths and areas for improvement. It's important to praise their creativity and effort while offering specific suggestions of how they can refine their ideas and skills. Another thing that a nurturer can do for a creative child is to help them build public speaking skills. Speaking skills in today's world is a big deal. You see, that talkative you once knew will turn out to be good and great speaker. No matter the field they find themselves, they will thrive above their past if this skill is well built in them. So I advise you as a nurturer to encourage your pupils or your child to take public speaking classes. If you can't afford one, get your children to stand in front of your camera, video them, let them talk, then show them the video afterwards. Now we move quickly to the sensitive child. Who is a sensitive child? The motto for this child is caution, from the word sensitive. Caution, caution. This child is extremely careful. They experience emotions deeply. Their natural attribute is loyalty and easygoing. These are the type of children you usually describe as being obedient. This child is obedient. They have a very strong empathetic responses to the emotions of people around them. If a sensitive child senses danger in a person, they will withdraw. In order to maintain peace, this child can bear unimaginable pain. This is the type of child that can be deeply hurt and will keep it from you because she felt, oh, mommy will be hurt, so I don't want to tell mommy. They are reserved, and in fact, you will experience lots of withdrawal periods from this child. For this child, peace is priceless. They are peacemakers. And no matter their order of birth, these are the type of children that maintain peace even in the family. What are their possible prospects? They are advocates for change, they are skilled communicators, they are empathetic leaders, they are writers, artists, judges. Possible weaknesses: perfectionism. Sensitive children may have high standard for themselves and become upset when they fall short. Emotional intensity. Their emotions may be more intense, leading to frequent mood swings and meltdowns. Procrastinations. This child is prone to procrastinate, and they are not pushy, they are not ambitious, and they can leave things to just be. Depression. This child can easily plug to depression. They are people's lover. They want to make others happy at all times, so they tend to be vulnerable. Your role as a nurturer for this child: number one, give them tasks and targets that are time bound. This is a very easy way to teach the child self leadership, development skills. Be specific with what you want to do and specify the time frame. Documentation. Teach your child to document. They can pour out their mind through documentation. Teach them the benefits of documentation and writing. Inspect their write-ups. Pastor Wisdom Oziri once said, people don't do what you expect. People do what you inspect. Motivation. Motivate your sensitive child with a better rewarding system. Then quickly, I run through the systematic child. The motto for this child is order brings efficiency, precision, and success. A systematic child is someone who naturally gravitates towards order, structure, and organization in their thoughts, behaviors, and activities. They prefer predictability and routine and often excel in tasks that requires careful planning, attention to details, and adherence to rules and procedures. They thrive in environments where expectations are clear and they may struggle with ambiguity and chaos. They are perfectionists. sure of standard, and hate substandards. Expected behaviors. They are very organized. They follow rules and routines diligently. They organize their belongings and tasks methodically. They complete tasks thoroughly and accurately. They plan ahead and anticipate potential challenges. They seek clarity and understanding before starting a task. Possible prospects. These are the type of children you see in research and analysis, teaching, training, and coaching, compliance and regulatory roles, field requiring precision, careers in project management. What are their possible weaknesses? This type of children struggle with ambiguity. They may find uncertainty and ambiguity unsettling, and they may prefer clear guidelines and concrete information to work with. Difficulty delegating tasks. This child may have a tendency to want to handle tasks themselves to ensure they are done correctly, which can lead to feelings of overwhelming and burnout. Limited creativity. Their structured approach to problem solving may limit their ability to think outside the box or generate innovative ideas. Difficulty with risk taking. This child may be more conscious and risk averse, which could prevent them from taking calculated risks or seizing opportunities for growth. What are your roles as a nurturer? What are your roles as a nurturer? Number one, foster resilience. You can help a systematic child foster resilience by teaching them coping strategies such as problem solving skills and positive self talk. This can empower them to adapt to unexpected situations and bounce back from setbacks. Promote creativity. Nurturers can encourage this child to explore creative outlets such as art, music, and storytelling. This can help broaden their perspectives and foster their creativity. Encourage flexibility, encourage risk taking in a safe environment, provide constructive feedback also. Seek their opinion. It is important to seek the opinions of this child because they usually have matured mind. When you are discussing or instructing them, make it more of a dialogue instead of monologue. Conversation or monologue. Speak with them or converse with them with logic and not emotions. This is how to ensure compliance. So now that we know the different types of children in our care, and we now know how we can help them utilize that which comes natural to them to their advantage. Of course, there are more to know about your child or pupils, especially in the areas of their temperament and the learning style. We will be touching on this topic soon. Thank you for your time and do have a beautiful evening.